Hello, welcome back. I thought I'd do another video. My first one actually went pretty well, I think. I was expecting there to be 0 views, and actually people watched it and commented, and that was really nice to see and gave me a bit of encouragement to carry on, so I thought I'd do another one. Not gonna lie, I have filmed this video once. I've actually filmed it once and a half already. The first time I did it at night time and the lighting was really bad. And considering my first one, the lighting wasn't too great, I thought I'd do this one in the middle of the day with the natural light coming in, although that does mean that you might hear traffic going past, so I apologise if you can hear that. But this video is basically a bit of an introduction to the book that I'm writing at the moment. I'm not going to go too in detail about the storyline itself. I'm just going to give a brief overview of it and then sort of the values that it has and the meanings and what I want to convey within the writing of it. So I've written myself some notes, I've done a bit of a mind map, so I'll just run through them and hopefully it gives you a bit of an idea, and it means that I can carry on talking about it without it feeling like such a mystery, because obviously I don't want to give too much information away because ideas change and stories change, and I'm only on I started chapter 3 a couple days ago and it's still my first draft of it all, and I know from reading and hearing from other writers, I know that the story can change a lot over time and probably will change quite a lot. But hopefully what I'll say today is more or less set in stone. I don't expect it to be exactly the same by the time I finish it. If I do, I will. Let's be optimistic. So yeah, let's go straight into it. So the story as a whole is about two young brothers, one 15, one 7, who are trying to survive in a world where there is a storm circling the earth, and the storm is different to any storm you've probably seen before. It's quite a unique storm, and that's all I'm going to say on the story as a whole. Yeah, I feel like the story itself I think is quite original. Obviously from hearing that it doesn't sound too original, but it is in my head. It's taken because I wanted to take something very basic, the storm, and people trying to survive it, and turning it into something unique, and I think I've done that so far, hopefully. So yeah, the value, I keep saying values, I'm not sure if that is the right word. Again, I'm a writer and I don't know if I'm using the right words, but let's roll with it, let's say values. I'm gonna go over some of the more basic ones and then some of the more deeper meanings within it that I hope it conveys. Obviously, from the synopsis I just said, you can imagine it's a lot of adventure, a lot of travelling, a lot of survival. Sometimes brothers don't get on quite as well as they should, so a lot of the story is about that. It's about family. Trust is a big one. Obviously, it's about two young boys trying to survive in a very harsh environment, and I wanted to write a lot about how that would affect their mental health, their inner voice, and how they deal with such pressures. And I like to think that that sort of links to today's society and the pressures that are put on everyone nowadays, and people stay quiet about what they're dealing with and they just go at it head on without complaining, while others may get it easier and complain about every little thing that happens. So it's in the perspective of the older brother. It's basically him with the pressure of having to look after his younger brother in such a harsh environment, and his inner monologue of how he's dealing with it and how he takes on a lot of the pressures and blames himself a lot of the time, which again, a lot of the story is about fighting your inner demons, being your own worst enemy in situations where it's not your fault that things are happening, yet you'll always put it on your own shoulders and somehow find a way to make it your fault. So a lot of the story is about that and how he deals with it and his inner demons giving him these negative thoughts when he's just trying to survive and look after his younger brother. And I'd like to think that the story also in a way teaches, I don't want to act like I'm some sort of preacher, but I'd like to think that the story teaches about learning to forgive yourself. That's something that I've had to teach myself over the last few years, and hopefully the experiences that I've had translate into this book and the mindset of this older brother. I will say that the older brother's story, a lot of it reflects my experiences just in life in general. Obviously I've not had to deal with a storm, but maybe a bit more of a metaphorical storm. as we all have over the last few years, I think. So it's learning to forgive yourself, and then also using your superpowers. That sounds really cheesy, but everyone has a superpower and you need to embrace it and make the most of it, and everyone's special and has a little thing that makes them unique and makes them a valued member of society. So as you can see me keep doing this, I've got my laptop, my work laptop open, and I'm just trying to wiggle the mouse to keep it going. Don't tell my manager. So that's a lot of it. A lot of it is a bit of a reflection of like grief, not necessarily just about grieving a person, but grieving a previous life, your old life, how things used to be. I know that everyone after COVID kind of grieved life beforehand, and I didn't want this book to be like, oh, it's a pandemic, we've all already lived that, so we'll already read about it. So I'm trying to make it a little bit different. Books are escapes in a lot of ways, and I don't want this just to be a big metaphor of a dark time we've all experienced. So I don't think it is. It's unique, and I'm looking forward to writing it. So as I said, I started chapter 3 a couple days ago, and I was a bit nervous about starting chapter 3 because it's sort of like I said in my first video, it's where the world sort of opens up for the characters and the equilibrium has been broken and they're let out into the world, and it's the bit where I've planned the least. Yet when I started writing it, I just sort of kept going and it sounded really good, and I read it back to myself and I was like, this isn't bad. So yeah, I'm looking forward to keeping writing it. I'll probably write a little bit more today and see how far we go. But yeah, that's it for this video. Welcome to my living room, by the way. I feel like these videos I'm just showing you different parts of my apartment. You can see my Lego Titanic in the background. But that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you soon. I have a lot of exciting ideas for this channel now that I've got going. So yeah, I look forward to some of the videos that I'll be doing. Yeah, that's it for this one. Thank you for watching, and I will hopefully see you next time. Bye!